Word on the street. FisMaz show. What's the word on the street? Like who got the beats that be killing the game? Who's up on the screen? Who playing who? What's the score on the sheet? Fiso the Prince got him taking the seat. Got the legends giving us the 411. Fiso must from the 031. No hating sports and entertainment when we got it on and we the only ones. And after all that action, never have we dripping high fashion. Drippy on some rich municipal stylists, soak up with passion. If it's giving us less, then we never settle. Make sure you pull up and bring all your medals. Sit back and relax, let's go. It's FisMaz bringing you the FisMaz show. It's the FisMaz show. It's the FisMaz show. It's the FisMaz show. It's the FisMaz show. FisMaz show.
Hello everyone, welcome to the FisMaz show. Yeah, massive news coming out of Orlando Pirates, and I thought we have to get stuck into this. Floyd Mbele has officially resigned at Orlando Pirates. It's a massive story because he's played such a massive part at the club over the past decade or so, however long he's been there. Floyd Mbele has been integral to really making sure that Orlando Pirates are a force to be reckoned with, not only in South African football, but also on the continent, because Pirates, we know, really prides themselves in African club competitions as well. So, yeah, I thought I'd rope in the man I call Legend Mahlatse Mphahlele just to break it down for us. I'm going to let him in, and we're going to just chat about that because it is a massive story. It's a story that I guess not a lot of people would have expected to happen, especially at this time of the season. So it'll be interesting to find out the details with regards to that particular situation with Floyd Mbele. So I'm just waiting for Mahlatse to join me. Yeah, I just thought I'd rope you in just to try and speak about the Floyd Mbele story. Obviously, a very polarizing figure in terms of Orlando Pirates fans, but a person who's been at the center of the club for such a long time. So take me through what has gone on exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, in fact, there's been news bubbling under for a while now that the man might have left the club, and the suspicion with the speculation was as a result that he has not been visible at matches and stuff like that, and so yeah, there's been talks that he's left the club and all those kinds of things, but there was never a confirmation as to whether it's true or not. And it didn't come as a surprise to some of us who have been following the story that he has left the club. It's something that they've sort of guarded. They are not commenting on it. In my professional career as a club official, as it were.
Yeah, for me, it's quite interesting. I mean, you obviously mentioned the fact that with Floyd, it came as no surprise to people who are close in terms of the media and people who have been observing quite closely with regards to that. But to Orlando Pirates fans who are in the dark, they've always felt that Floyd Mbele, Stanley Shabalala, those are the untouchables at Orlando Pirates, and it will come as a bit of a shock. I heard a rumor about Sekou Kune United. Potentially he's going to be working there. I don't know if that's true, but just take me into that psyche of Floyd Mbele for people who don't know, and why potentially, if you were to speculate that he's decided to jump ship.
I mean, obviously, I think when you look at Floyd, he has been around football for many, many years. I mean, I met him at the then Technical Pretoria or Pretoria Technicon. He was a coach there. And he is somebody who has been around football for many, many years. And that is one thing which people don't know. That this is a guy who is very, very knowledgeable, who in his other life, he's been a coach. He has always been around Orlando Pirates for the last while. I think he left and then he came back again. So in that score, a highly, highly experienced guy, somebody who knows South African football very well. And I guess, you can even go as far as saying that somebody who has, played a big role for Orlando Pirates. When they were winning all the trophies that they won, the double trebles, if I'm from the top of my head, I think he was there. He played a role behind the scenes. You mentioned Braskrima. He worked very closely with the guy, and you feel that to a large extent, maybe in the past, they never really got the credit that they deserve in terms of the work that they've done behind the scenes. You have always been seeing or hearing about Floyd Mbele whenever Pirates not doing well. People were always blaming him when the team is not doing well. I'm saying that he's interfering with coaches and all those kinds of things. And I can't remember any coach coming out, to explicitly say that, Floyd has interfered. Those rumors has always been there, but I've never heard of anyone saying that they've done that. But that kind of stuff is something which has always been around our football a lot. That the club officials interfere with coaches and all those kinds of things. But for him, for his credit, I think he has saved the game. It's a shame that for whatever period of time, he will be out of football. But I'm quite confident that he will find a home somewhere. You mentioned Skukune. There have been also those rumors linking him to Skukune. Skukune is a team that is relatively young in our football space. Is a team that can do with the experience of someone like a Floyd. I'm not in any way insinuating that he's going there. I'm just saying that because it's a rumor that has been doing the rounds. I don't know how close is he to the people there. I don't know if he has worked with them before. But you feel that wherever he will go in South African football, he will be an asset. As to whether you can see him at the PSL is another story. He's somebody who definitely maybe can go to a place like Safa. He can play a role there because there is definitely no doubt in terms of his reputation and his experience as an administrator.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because, like I said at the very top, he seems to be quite a polarizing figure. When you hear Pirates fans talking about Floyd Mbele, like you said, there's hardly ever a mention of like, hey man, that guy oversaw X, Y, Z, and this period of success or that period of success. It's always, if not always, 90% of the time, it's about interfering of coaches. These guys are meddling. They let the people on the ground do the things they need to do. Team selections. It's all put down to Floyd Mbele and Braskrima, and it's unfortunate because you forget about all the great things that they do in the game and all the hard work that will no doubt go into a massive club like Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I guess it's how our football is. Most of the people do these things because maybe they are leaning on history. I mean, it's a known fact that in our football, there's been a lot of cases where club officials, where even club owners interfere with coaches. But I mean, as I've indicated earlier on, that I've never heard of any coach at Pirates or any player at Pirates coming out openly to say, I have witnessed an instance where, so and so has come to the dressing room and told the coach what to do. It possibly happens, maybe away from the players or away from anybody, but we know it happens. With Floyd, as you say, he's somebody who he has always been blamed when Pirates didn't do well, and nobody has said anything about him when Pirates were winning. When Pirates were winning trophies. So he has always been that polarizing figure. He has always been somebody who also speaks his mind when the opportunity arises. He has been in the game for too long. He's pretty much one of the senior administrators in our game, as things are now. And, I think the key issue here for fans, and especially the Pirates fans, it's really to find out why he left, because for the longest time, he looked like he was adding value there.
Yeah, and that'll be the question, I guess, on everyone's lips. And unfortunately, and sometimes in South African football, there's certain secrets that we never get to know. So hopefully we can dig in, and if you do find out, I know you'll tap me up and you'll say, "Hey, I've got something for you."
Yeah, well, I mean, I did call him. We have a good relationship. Like I said, I mean, I've known him for many, many years. And he respectfully asks not to. He says he's not commenting for now. And he has kept his word. He hasn't been on any platform to talk about this thing. I think maybe it's largely because he wants to deal with it in a way that he wants to deal with. And when he's ready, whenever he's ready, he will come out and he will speak. The story won't go away. I guess every time people see him or meet him, they will definitely ask as to what happened. He has been at Paris for too long pretty much part of the furniture there. And it's interesting. It will be interesting to find out what are the dynamics at play behind the scenes there at Pirates. I mean, we all know that the chairman is getting older and older. And we all know that the chairman's sons are also, sort of, getting more and more involved in running with the club, which is a good thing because you need young people taking care of these things. So it's happening at Sundowns, it's happening at Royal AM, it's happening at Kaizer Chiefs. It's happening at cheaper side is heavily involved in running of the club. So it's good that the sort of the owners of these clubs sort of take a step back or step aside and allow the younger generation to come and run these clubs. I don't know if maybe those are the dynamics that trumped him. I don't know what happens behind the scenes. Nobody's talking. But I think, the good thing here is that, it will be nice to see Floyd back in football because he's very experienced, and wherever he goes, definitely he will add value.
Yeah, and I mean, you've touched on an interesting point there because you're speaking about, I guess, the passing of the baton. People always speak about a club in a transitional phase, and Pirates looking to challenge Sundowns. They've recruited heavily in the past few seasons, and you probably and in a lot of quarters, people say that probably the second best assembled squad after Mamelodi Sundowns. Could this be a period where, from an administrative point of view, from a background staff point of view, there could be that transition with regards to administration and running the club, because we see it on the field a lot of the times, but we never really focus on changes within a club in terms of that hierarchy.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable. I mean, you look at, for example, also I forgot to mention the Golden Arrows. Mema Tomatala's daughter has been running that club for many, many years. It's inevitable that the older people will get older, and then the kids will grow older also and take over. So it's a good thing. South Africa is roughly or generally a young country, and you would want to see a situation whereby more younger and younger people are leading, because younger people understand what fellow young people want out there. And I think also, a lot of people don't want to talk about this thing, but I think the time has arrived where we need to really see changes in our football in terms of leadership. There are a lot of young people in our game who have been around football for many, many years, who over a number of period of times, they've gained experience. They've earned their stripes, and you wouldn't be surprised or you'd be shocked, or they would not be overawed by the occasion if they are given responsibility to lead. I mean, I look at somebody like Jessica Mdau. I think she has done very well for herself. She's doing stuff at FIFA now. She's involved in women's football at CAF level. She has been at Chiefs for many, many years. I mean, look at Chiefs. They have not won anything in a long time, but that brand still remains strong. And that is partly because of the work that she does behind the scenes and trying to make sure that the club remains competitive. I mean, his brother, Kezam Don Jr., is involved with the technical side of things. It's good for the club. One, when the chairman decides to step away, they will be ready to take over. It happens at Sundowns. Patrice Motsepe has given his son the opportunity to lead and run is good. I mentioned Chipa earlier on. I met the young man. He says the right things, and most of these people also are highly educated. So I think it's time that we really need to give these guys a chance to run these clubs. And when it gets to a point where the senior leaders decide to step away and go and take a break, so it's good for the game. We hope that also something can happen at SAPA level, something can happen at PSL level. Let the young people lead, and also generally in our country, as you know, that not too many things are going right. Even in politics, I don't think it can be such a bad thing where we can start seeing younger and younger leaders in terms of politics coming to the fore and taking this country forward.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a fascinating subject because it's one of the things that we hear a lot of young people complaining about, and sometimes even older people saying, we need that fresh blood. We need people who have energy to make sure that they're able to be hands-on and be able to, it takes a lot of work to run football clubs. It takes a lot of work to be an administrator, and I guess that's where also the frustration comes in when you hear of a PSL and a SAFA not getting along. People just feel like it's old people being stubborn and whatnot, and it's those dynamics that at times can it hinders the person who wants to start loving the local game. They say, this sport and these administrators that we have, they're a bit of a headache, and as a result, the sport is not where we want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can still have the PSL and sort of fighting, even as the young leaders. But the key issue here is that we really need to have people who will have the interest of the sport at heart. That's very, very critical. And I mean, if you look around our sports, there are a lot of young leaders, administrators who, you would think that if they get in there, they can do what is right for the sport. You will find people who are hungry, people who want to make their mark. And you must remember, there's a lot at stake here. If you do well domestically, there are opportunities at CAF, there are opportunities at FIFA, there are opportunities at UEFA. You can really, really go places if you get in there, do the right thing, grow the sport, and make sure that the players and the young people of this country who are interested in football, in our case, get opportunities to showcase their talent. So it's something that, like you said, I mean, it's an important discussion which we need to continue having going forward, because it is through these kinds of discussions where maybe we can put a little bit of pressure sort of for the older guys to step aside and allow the new blood to take over.
Yeah, no. Thank you for your time, Dejan. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you have a positive week ahead. And I know Orlando Pirates fans will want to get stuck into the debate, but let me let you go now. I know you've got another appointment, but I really appreciate you sparing a bit of time for me.
No, it's fine. Anytime. I was saying to somebody that I see you are pushing this platform. Let's support each other. Anytime I've got a moment, I'll definitely willing to come on board and sharing my views. I hope I'm not letting you down. I'm not disappointing you.
No, not at all, not at all. In fact, I totally appreciate it. And like you
sometimes we forget about these meetings, and
no stress, no stress. It's always good for us to support each other, and likewise, if ever you need me for anything,
definitely.
I'm always here as well.
Thank you very much, my brother.
All right, so I'm gonna let you go now. I'm gonna wrap up the show now. But yeah, that's Mahlatse Mphahlele there, just touching with regards to Orlando Pirates and Floyd Mbele and that particular situation there. And of course, it is a massive story with regards to fans will be sitting there and asking themselves, how they could possibly move forward, move forward as a club. Who will be there? Who will be the people that take the club forward? Will it be a regeneration in terms of young administrators, or will it be a case of simply just maybe just a change of direction, with regards to that? So yeah, we'll keep our ears on the ground, and hopefully, Prof. Floyd will give us an answer with regards to his particular future and the reasons why he has decided to leave Orlando Pirates. But yeah, nonetheless, that's the story I wanted to cover today. Make sure that you're staying involved. Make sure that you're leaving your comments, you're interacting, and let us know what you think with regards to the departure of Floyd Mbele at Orlando Pirates. Good, bad? What do you think? Interested to hear from all of you. So yeah, make sure that you keep following the show. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, be bringing some really cool content in the coming weeks. But yeah, for me, FisMaz, I just want to say goodbye. I want to say thank you, and most importantly, love to all.